So, dear liaison officers, dear friends, it's a great pleasure to welcome all of you to this third and final meeting in the series dedicated to the new FIAP distinctions regulations, and the last one in English before the summer break. Tomorrow evening, we'll have another one, but in Spanish. After more than 10 years, FIAP has finally taken a much awaited and ambitious step forward. Not just a simple revision, but a deep and meaningful change to our regulations, driven by the evolution of international photography and our desire to remain at their forefront. The result is a set of regulations that are truly innovative and unique in the global photography competition landscape, marking a real turning point. More than ever, FIAP wants to foster creativity and originality among photographers. This is perfectly reflected in the introduction of the portfolio section, a completely new concept designed to give space and visibility to those artists eager to present themselves on the international stage with a coherent, mature bodies of work that fully express their photographic vision. This regulation has already been published and sent by our General Secretary Yanis Likouris to all members countries. It's official and final. Our task through these 3 meetings is to make sure that each of you fully understands its spirit and details, so that you can communicate it clearly and powerfully to all the photographers in your federation. I would also like to take this opportunity to deeply thank our distinctions director, Jeff Lemons, our patronage director, Romain Nero, and our Secretary General, Yanis Likouris, without whom these regulations would never have come to life. And of course, a heartfelt thank you to each of you, and to everyone who took the time to send us their suggestions and valuable feedback. I invite you now to follow the presentation slides carefully, ask questions, and share any doubts you may have. This is the right moment for any clarifications. These slides will also be sent to you afterwards so that you can translate them into your own languages and distribute them properly at a national level. And now I'm happy to hand over the floor to the director, Jeff Lemons, but not before warmly thanking my friend Paul Stanley, director of the FIAP Photo Academy online events, for organizing today's meeting. Thank you, Paul. And now, Jeff, the floor is yours.
Hello, all. Welcome. Thank you very much for your interest in the new regulations. When Freddie asked me to take over his job for the distinction service, I had not expected to be responsible for the new regulations so quickly. So some of you sent their wishes and comments, but rules that fit for everyone are not possible. So the board has decided, and I think here they are. Romain, the word is for you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Ricardo, for this introductory speech. So I will quickly switch over and will share with you my screen where you will see a PowerPoint show that I made for Jeff about the distinction. So to make it a little bit easier to understand for you and to explain. So you all see the first slide. Paul, everything fine?
Yes, indeed, Romain, everything is fine.
So, okay,
Perfect.
let's go for it. So you remember the last Congress in India. So we were presenting a draft of the regulations of the new distinctions, and we had many discussions, and the new rules now took over what was discussed, what was decided, and we are coming now to the short explanation of what is new, what stayed, And so the little explanation what we will go. We will explain the new regulations document 47/2025. We will show to you a sheet for photographers that we will distribute also, that you can transmit to photographers that are interested in achieving FIAP distinctions. And we will have a list of frequently asked questions that we put together for you already. Okay, 4 parts, the traditional photographic FIAP distinctions. We go through them, you know them all. We have the new FIAP distinctions, you heard about it, the novice FIAP, the new D4 to D8, the new diamond distinctions, very new thing, the portfolio distinctions, and the Grand Master. We will have a talk about the traditional administrative distinctions and the new administrative distinctions that FIAP created. So let's start with the traditional photographic FIAP distinctions. This is a short introductory about the historic idea why we wanted to change. Ricardo already was talking about it. You will get this PowerPoint show that was updated along the several Zoom online discussions we had, and who has the latest information. So if you participated in previous online discussions and you made screen captures from the text, don't use it. Use the one that you will get sent to you. Okay, so wait, that was a little bit too quick. I just have to clean my screen here. Traditional photographic FIAP distinctions here with the red square. So the table that you will find in the regulations, they are cumulative. This means that the acceptances for AFIAP you need 75 acceptances, and for EFIAP you need 125 more. This is a question that is always asked. The same for the countries, the same for the works, and it's happening the same for the awards for the EFIAP diamonds from 1 to 8. So the first difference will be that there will be no more break after the EFIAP distinction. So before you needed to participate with new pictures starting from EFIAP bronze. This will not be anymore. So from novice or AFIAP on, you can participate until EFIAP platinum with the same pictures. Then there is between platinum and diamond 1, there will be a transition. You will need to have new pictures for diamond 1. Nevertheless, at this stage, after EFIAP platinum, all previously received awards will be reset, except for those awards obtained 1 year before having received the EFIAP platinum. The date of the certificate will be valued for this. Those can be used unless they have already been utilized for the FIAP Platinum distinction. So starting from the one, authors are obliged to use new photographs. There will be no more minimum number of salons, and there will be no more requirement for print acceptances. I remind you that there was a referendum going on at the beginning of the year, and which resulted in the fact that there will be no more need to have print acceptances for FIAP distinctions. Okay, so a hint is applicants collecting acceptances and awards for their EFIAP Platinum distinction should only keep the awards relevant to their EFIAP Platinum distinction. Any awards obtained at least 1 year prior to the EFIAP Platinum and not yet used should be preserved for meeting the requirements of the EFIAP Diamond 1 distinction. So, okay, people can participate when starting with EFIAP bronze, silver, and then when it's coming to platinum, they should be careful to keep pictures that have not yet been used for the distinctions. Another big change that will come is that starting from 2026, a photo work cannot have more than 10 acceptances, awards listed on the application form. it is clear that acceptances and awards for salons with patronage numbers earlier than 2026 can have more than 10 acceptances listed. So if somebody has achieved, I think there will be an example afterwards. Yeah, if a photograph A already had 9 acceptances before 2026, does that mean that it can still receive up to 10 additional acceptances starting from 26 for a total of 19? So actually no, as the 1st of January, once a photograph has reached the limit of 10 acceptances awards, no further acceptances awards for that image can be counted regardless of how many it had before. So if a photo had 9 acceptances before 26, it still can have 1 and not 10. Another question, if the photograph had already reached, for example, 15 acceptances before 26, can a further 10 still be counted under the new rule? I have something, let's see my screen here. If a photo had 15 acceptances before 26, it cannot have more, but the 15, as they have been achieved before 26, can be accounted for in 26 and later. So if applicants for Diamond 1, they have pictures that they had the years before in 25 that have not been accounted for, they even can make it count for more than 10 acceptances. Okay, coming to the FIAP, the minimum requirement for FIAP will now be FIAP Platinum. There will be no more restriction in the number of times people will apply for FIAP. So before they could apply a maximum of 3 times. So this number will be limited now. And the application process will go through a platform where pictures will be uploaded by the participant. Of course, with the online approval of the national FIAP liaison officer. A good example here is now when somebody is achieving the FIAP Platinum in December of a year, and you know that the FIAP closing date for FIAP is in January, the person do not have to wait for 1 year, so he can immediately in January apply for the FIAP. Because this is a new rule, and because that this year already the FIAP applications were sent in for January, exceptionally FIAP will allow individuals to apply for the FIAP distinction a second time in 2025. The official closing date will be announced soon through FIAP notification. So there will be a second date, closing date for achieving FIAP, for trying to have FIAP this year, for all those who have not platinum.
Roman, before we move on to the new ones, there is a question here from Petri, which applies to what you've just said. And he's asking, regarding the limited amount of acceptances for a photo, is there a service to run the checks? So how does the liaison officer determine the numbers?
That is a problem, because if we should make the test or control the amount of acceptances for one photo, if we have to count them manually from the old, or let's say old applications, that is the only way we can do it. That is extremely huge job, and that is also, when it's handmade, that is also a risky job. And I know that the FIAP is having the registrations of all of the acceptances since, let's say, for 10 last years. It's
yes,
their
you're right,
website.
Petri. You're absolutely right. We are working on this. So we are working on this, that we will have the results ready. So Jeff's service, with the help of the quest from India, so we have already a database just with the acceptances, and we're working on it that it will be in a certain way accessible to the applicants.
Oh, okay.
So that in some way this will already be approved. But for the moment, the application process will stay the same.
Okay.
So for the moment, we are not yet ready for it. So we have to work on the data we have for the last 13, 12 years. And of course, now from 26 on, this will get easier. But of course, most of the people will want to valorize the acceptances they had before. So we are in this process of doing this. It will be easier, but for the moment, you still have to count. Let's say it like this. Okay?
Okay. And I'm not happy about that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But it
We
was
are
like this before, it was like this
usually
before.
we have only, let's say, 10 to 25 applications per year. So that is reasonable, but the work will be huge and also it will be risky.
And I think it will be because from 26 on will just be 10 acceptances can be used. So it will be more in this way, will get a little easier, because there will be less numbers. But I'm right. I agree absolutely with you. We have this data somewhere, and we need to bring it to make the software work for us, and to bring a way to valorize it. And that you as liaison officer, we as FIAP and the applicant, of course, are happy. It should be a win-win situation for everybody. Yeah. I absolutely agree, and we're working very tough on it. So.
Yeah, but thank you for your answer.
Thank you. Okay, let's come now to the new FIAP distinctions. So we will start with the novice FIAP. So the novice FIAP or NFIAP, it's a new distinction. It will be easier to achieve for newcomers or photographers eager to enter the group of FIAP members bearer of a FIAP distinction. So the application will be via a form that has to be checked by the FIAP liaison officer. It's the same procedure as in the old rules. FIAP will not ask a charge for this new distinction. And of course, we appeal to national federations, please support FIAP in promoting this new distinction for newcomers and young photographers eventually by not requesting a national fee. Applicants will have the choice to apply for NFIAP or directly for AFIAP if their records match. So we do not want to impose an additional distinction for people to achieve the other distinctions on the distinction ladder. So if they have enough acceptations, if their records match, they can immediately apply also for the AFIAP distinction. For the novice FIAP, we will say that acceptance points must start from 2025 events on. So not acceptance points that were made before 25 will not count. Then, of course, we have the continuation of the diamond levels from D4 to D8. And the new portfolio FIAP distinctions. We wanted to make a shift from the well-known global acceptance and award hunts in FIAP salons to a particular approach towards each individual photographer. Will be the new FIAP portfolio distinction. The application process will go through a FIAP platform. It will not be the myfiap.net platform, where pictures will be uploaded by the participant, of course, with the online approval of the national FIAP liaison officer. There will be 3 reviewing sessions per year, and at the beginning we will limit the number of applicants per country and per session to 15 applicants per country. The list that you see in the FIAP distinction regulations of portfolio is non-cumulative. So for the first step for the portfolio FIAP, you need a portfolio of 10 images. For the second step, the bronze, you need 2 portfolios of 10 images each. For silver, 3 portfolios of 10 images each. For gold, 4 portfolios. And for the master portfolio FIAP, you need 5 portfolio of 10 images each. Of course, there must be different themes for all applications. The reviewers will have an insight in previously sent themes. So they will on the platform see what applicants for example, a portfolio silver distinction will have handed in before. And they can compare and say, okay, this is okay, these are different themes, or they can say, no, that's the same. There will be 5 international portfolio reviewers, and their requirements will be minimum of FIAP Platinum, respective MFIAP, with an international judging experience of at least 30 FIAP certified events. So the judges can apply to be part of this reviewer team. And we already have, as we have the data from all the events under FIAP patronage from 2013 on, we know who has judged what, and we have already a list of judges who fulfill these requirements and who will be contacted by us in this last quarter of the year. They will have their specific profile on the myfiap.net platform, and they will have the job to review the entrance of these 3 sessions. It will be a huge job.
Sorry, Roman, there's a question there about the portfolio, and
Yep.
that is, do the pictures in the portfolio need acceptances?
No. So the portfolio distinctions are, we will see it a little later in the cheat sheet, so perhaps I can a little bit go forward to this one. They are completely out of the system of the other distinctions. So for people who are not interested in participating in salons and who want to have a distinction, they can participate here. The only condition is that these pictures have not been used for the MFIAP. If this picture got prizes, they can be used. It needs to be a portfolio, so pay attention. Of course, we will have the reviewers will have a precise sheet where they have to give notes on the portfolio, and there will, of course, be a very not precise. There will be a definition of how portfolios, what we consider as a portfolio. So we are working on this document. Will be very important, of course, because portfolios can be there's a huge variety of possibilities to explain what a portfolio is, and we will give clear guidelines to this. So the pictures do not need to have acceptances. It is completely apart from the other distinction category that we have from Novice FIAP to FIAP Diamond 8.
Okay, Howard is also making a point in relation to the NFIAP, the novice FIAP. He says he cannot find in the rules that the acceptances must have been achieved from 2026 onwards.
No, from 2025 onwards. Yes, that's right. We forgot to put this in, but it was stated like this and was a phrase that will be added afterwards. Okay.
Okay, yes.
So we go on to the other distinction, the Grandmaster FIAP. So the Grandmaster FIAP will be automatically awarded after having achieved the MFIAP and the Master FIAP and the Master Portfolio FIAP. So when one of the two is achieved, when both of them are achieved, nobody needs to apply for this distinction. You will immediately get granted the Grandmaster FIAP. And yeah. Okay, another question to the new distinction?
Yes. David says he has a question about the portfolio. So maybe, David, if you want to unmute yourself, you ask the question, please.
We moved on, and I wanted to go back, so sorry about that. Does the level of the quality of photography going to increase as you go through the levels? Or that I think the document just says there's a high level of how does it say? A good level of artistry is the only standard that's indicated. But will
Yeah.
it be something that's expected more as you go through the levels?
No. It should be, each portfolio should be no, each portfolio should be a good portfolio. So there, we do not want people to evolve. So they should be good portfolios from the start on, so that at the end they will have achieved 15 good portfolios that convince the judges to give them to award them the distinction they are applying for.
Right. So at each level, the level of photography isn't any harder, just the same standard.
It's the
And
same. Yeah.
if an application isn't approved, I know there's some feedback that's coming back. Would it be something that would tell the applicant you need to replace a few images or just give up on this? Nothing's working. I mean, I don't want somebody to work on a portfolio that's just never going to make it.
Yeah. So we have I worked out an evaluation sheet, which each judge will give points according to the composition, to the idea, to everything. So 5 different points that will be given points to, and each judge will also give an individual text evaluation by text about the portfolio. So there will be a feedback to the applicant. Of course, it cannot be now a whole paragraph, but it will give him an idea why it was not accepted.
Will that those points be per image or for the total?
For the total.
And if there's 2 portfolios coming in, there'll be 2 totals.
Yeah, there will be different evaluation sheets for each portfolio.
And so when a judge is looking at the 2 portfolios or then the 3, they would all be judged at the same time by the judges.
They will first judge, let's go for the portfolio silver. So the first portfolio, he will have a look at the first one. He will have a look at the second one. He will have a look at the third one. They do not need to be connected, the portfolios. It should be 3 different portfolios with different themes. And also the themes must be different from the previous portfolio he handed in for the previous distinctions.
But the judge will know that those are the 3 or the 2 that are coming in from that applicant.
Yes.
And they will have seen the previous. Okay. With that feedback, is it going? I'm getting the idea it's going to be relatively detailed. It won't be like not worthy of doing it again. It'll be a little bit more than that kind of a checklist.
Yeah, it will be perhaps, I know if there are, there will be a theme. The applicant will also have the possibility to give some text. So the judge will have the possibility to really get into it and give a precise, feedback saying, okay, this is, I see the idea, but you have a repetition in the pictures, or they are, the composition is not working for several pictures. It will be quite precise. Or
the theme is too large, or the theme is too small, or things like that.
I don't know if this is now, we're going into the detail of it. But if you have a theme of bridges, it's a large theme, but you can have an interesting portfolio with bridges. I think the judges they will have an experience in judging. That's why we made these requirements. And they know what they are talking. Also we will do some some sessions talking about it. And I think the evaluation sheets will already be very precise. And I think this will work very, very well.
Right now in the FIAP book, when we're looking at potential salons and subject matter themes and all that, portfolios is listed. Is that something that will be removed from salons in the future? No, it'll still be there?
We do not have many salons that go for portfolios
Right.
of series. Very less. So I'm well positioned as a director of patronage to know this. So anyway, this will not be a in the salon. These are we will organize this, and of course the people organizers will be free to choose this the series or portfolio section if they want to.
Okay, but if somebody submits there, will there be any way to check that that theme is not going to be used again for the a portfolio distinction?
For the moment, you cannot use themes that have been introduced in the FIAP.
Right.
So let's start it.
See what happens.
Let's start it, and I don't think there will now be an extraordinary increase in portfolio sections in salons. And when
Oh,
it
I don't think I wasn't suggesting there'd be an increase. I'm just suggesting that there may have been, even if it's only 3 in a year or 2, there may be some people who do portfolios there and then use them again. And, is that something that's desirable?
It's something we can discuss about, let's say. But I think this is now this session is to see what we made in the distinction regulations, and let's go through it. And it will be something we will discuss about later.
Raman, I think Ali might have some questions about portfolios if he wants to unmute himself. Yep.
Yes.
Roman, these portfolio distinctions are cumulative. For example, somebody applies for a PFIA bronze, must submit 2 new portfolios or not one?
As I said, this list is non-cumulative. So for the first.
So it means somebody that already received bronze, it means submitted totally 3 portfolios, correct?
Yes. And when he goes for silver, he needs to hand in 3 more portfolios. So
3 new.
There will be at the end a total of 15.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so Grandmaster. Okay, let's come to the traditional administrative distinctions. We have the FIAP. Everybody knows is awarded to those persons who have given exceptional service over a long period at an international level for the benefit of FIAP. Now we added, because we are very grateful to all the judges all over the world that judge FIAP salons. So the S distinction will automatically be awarded also to judges who have judged 30 salons organized under FIAP patronage. So we will have a list, and gradually these judges will have this distinction awarded.
Sorry, Raman, just on that, there is a question here about that from Shrija, and he's asking, do juries from this year and before count, or is it only from the January the 1st, 2026?
Now specifically for this distinction?
For ESFIAP.
Of course, the previous juries also count. So somebody who has judged for the last 10 years, he has judged 30 salons, he will be awarded the FIAP. And we will have data. He does not have to apply for it. So we will have the data, and he will be awarded the FIAP.
Okay.
Good. Then we have the ONI-FIAP distinction. It is awarded by FIAP to individuals who have made exceptionally significant and long-lasting contribution to the development, promotion, and prestige of FIAP worldwide. There is more written in the distinction regulation, so I just copied the first paragraph. The new administrative distinctions, because we need it to have new distinctions, the first one will be the Lifetime Achievement Award. So where nobody can apply for it, but the initiative and the decision belongs to the FIAP board. So this award aims to honor all individuals who have distinguished themselves in an exceptional way through their constant dedication and persistent efforts, and who have devoted a significant part of their lives to FIAP and the overall development of artistic photography. Then we have another administrative distinction. It will be the honorable membership. The initiative and decision also again belongs just to the board. So this honorary title is reserved for individuals who are not members of FIAP, but who have rendered outstanding services or significant support to the Federation. Recipients may include government representatives, cultural promoters, renowned photographers, or other personalities who have contributed exceptionally to the development or visibility of FIAP's mission and values. Okay, that's...
Sorry, Ravan, before going on to the cheat sheet, there are some other questions which have come in. One about portfolios. Garrick asks, can portfolios be sent without diamond distinction? I'm not sure I understand the question, but that's the question he has typed in here.
So any picture that has not been, portfolio, I don't not quite understand. Perhaps if you get prizes or awards with pictures that you used for the diamond distinctions, you can use this picture in a portfolio, of course.
Okay. Howard is making a point in relation to FIAP, and that is that applicants for FIAP who are not successful don't always get feedback. I presume the implicit question is, will they now get feedback?
And normally, though, this is not, I can give the answer to Jeff, but I think they always get
try to answer.
Yeah.
I cannot not answer for the past, of course, but this year I forwarded the feedback of the reviewers to the rejected applications. So, and I promise I will do it in the future. But I don't know what happened in the past, of course.
Of course, everybody should have been informed of the success.
Yes, everyone was informed this year. Huh? Only this year, I don't know.
Yeah, you can assure it for this year, but let's say the previous year, it should have been like this, but perhaps the letter was lost, I don't know. But of course, people should have been informed that they have not achieved the FIAP, of course.
Howard is typing in there saying that when he's been handling FIAPs, what happens is there's a letter saying you were not successful, but there's no feedback saying why you were not successful. I think that's the point he's making.
Yes. I think it should be more feedback than just a refusal. I think that just when I made the evaluation sheet and I shared it with Jeff, he was immediately saying, okay, we can use also this for the next FIAP evaluations. And I think this will be a good thing to have, of course, for refused FIAP dossiers. There should be more precise, explanation.
Yes, but I did it this year. I forward the feedback.
Yep. Okay. Well. Okay, so there will be, or there was this.
Yes, in the future there will, sure.
Yeah. So before this was not, but it will be more precise. It will be more. There will be hints. There will be precise words from judges. I remember that 1 or 2 years we did this, and I don't know what happened afterwards, but I agree. Should be precise. Okay.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, there's no more questions or comments there.
Good. The cheat sheet for photographers, you already had a look on it. So this will be a PDF where the people will have a link to get to the distinction regulations, where the FIAP will have a link to a list of FIAP liaison officers so that they know, depending from which country they come from, that they can contact the liaison officer, a link to the FIAP life card. And yeah, so this is a little bit of a resume of what we explained. And also an explanation of the most important changes. Oh yeah, in this particular part, Jeff told me that most of the questions come to this subjects. Candidates must provide 5 photographic words, and then it's in fact it's the same that it was before, but we made it here a little bit more clear. So at least 2 acceptances in 3 different countries. This means the 5 provided pictures must have achieved 2 acceptances in 3 different countries and must be mentioned on page A of the application form. And we made an example. So image 1, so 2 acceptances with 1 pictures in country A, etc., etc. So this will also be in this cheat sheet. So because it was a question that was coming all over again, of course, starting from 26, a photo cannot have more than 10 acceptances or 10 awards. Yes, be advised that no more prints are requested. The portfolio, okay, upload dates will be by the 15th of January, 15th of May, and 15th of October of each year. So the process will be fully managed on a platform. It's the platform that we also use for the biennials, and which will also be used for the FIAPs. Of course, approval must be given before from the FIAP liaison officer. 15 participants maximum per country at the beginning. I know that certain countries are not happy with this rule, but we need to canalize a little bit the thing. If we will be very successful, we need to be sure that we can handle it. And that's why we made this rule with the 15 applicants. And yeah, of course, now applications of previous participants that were refused and that reapply are not included. Of course, if somebody is applying for the bronze and one portfolio is not accepted, and he can apply then the next session with this second portfolio, he will not be accounted for the 15 participants. Portfolios must have a theme. There will be there will be a precise guideline for the portfolio.
Are you saying that if 2 portfolios go in, one might be accepted and the other might not, and then they only need to submit the one that wasn't?
Absolutely, Joanne, absolutely. So, of course, if it's extraordinary portfolios, they get accepted both, but the possibility is there that one is accepted and the other not. So let's say if he's applying on the 15th of January, he gets one accepted and one not, he can reapply on the 15th of May for the second one with a small supplementary charge of 30 euro. We will come to the fees afterwards. And if here again he is not succeeding, he will again, it will be possible to apply on the 15th of October and so on. You know, it's just after 1 year he must go for the complete fee again. So it's possible because it's possible to then to go on and at the next session to try again. Images and themes submitted for the must be distinct from one another and not similar. They must have different titles. Same or similar images cannot be used in different portfolios. We are also working on how to say on a definition, not a definition, on a guideline of knowing what is similar and what is not similar. For me, it would be quite easy, but let's say we will put a paragraph with explaining what we consider as similar and what not. My approach to this is the more text we will do, the more people will have questions to ask. But we will try to find a way to make it clear what is similar and what not. Then pictures used for successful MFIAP portfolios cannot be used. Other pictures awarded in FIAP Sonance and used for distinctions, other than portfolio distinctions, of course, can be used. So if a portfolio distinction is not accepted, the candidate may reapply for the specific theme that was not approved during the next submission periods. A minor supplementary fee will apply. After 1 year of refusal, the initial complete fee must be paid again. And the date on the certificate will reflect the most recent closing date used to finalize the selection.
Ramon, there are some more questions here in relation to the portfolio, so maybe we could deal with them now while you still have that there. So Howard is wondering, will portfolio applications start in October this year, October 2025?
No.
No. So the
No.
first one is going to be January 2026. Yes. I beg your pardon. Yeah, 15th of January 2026.
Yes.
Okay. Our friends in Switzerland are wondering, as liaison officer, do we have access to the platform to see who has uploaded for their country?
Yes, yes. Everybody who is uploading will need to have the decisive click of the liaison officer. So the liaison officer will get a message, and he can then approve or refuse. If he will refuse it, we need, of course, to justify his decision and give this, explain this to FIAP, and yeah. So of course, no application will be checked, no portfolio will be judged if there was not the approval of the FIAP liaison officer before. We must also say that there will be the liaison officer will have a certain amount of time, I think 10 or 15 days. It's written in the rules that he needs to, when he's not giving a feedback. So if he's not approving at all, so not approving, not refusal, the portfolio will immediately be judged. So we need to have a specific refusal with some words of explanation. And if there is no reaction at all, the portfolio will be judged.
They get 10 days.
10 days. Well,
10 days.
Okay.
Romain, I have a question for you on that. If the applicants for the portfolios are applying directly, I'm not going to, and I imagine most people aren't going to look at the quality of the images. This is not for me to do. I'm not going to pre-approve them before they get determined later. But one thing we do is we would at least require them to be a member of our national organization.
You can check at that moment when they apply for. You will be informed, and you will have the possibility to make things clear at that moment with them.
Can you see any other reason why a FIAP liaison officer would reject an application? I mean, if we're not looking at the quality of the images.
You remember November in India. So we suggested this to make it a direct application, and there were several countries who were not in line with this. And so we put this. Now, if somebody is refusing it, he must, of course, give a clear explanation that will be analyzed by the FIAP board. And that was a decision of the assembly in November.
But if they're not a member of the national organization, isn't that a more than justifiable reason?
So I just can say that I have the same situation with patronage in certain cases, and of course FIAP is generally on the side of its members, so of its operational members, and it just needs to have a clear clarification why there is the refusal.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So then we have this cheat sheet.
Roman, excuse me. For the portfolio applications, when the site will be opened?
Yep. When it will be open. So it will be open starting in January.
So from the 1st January until the 15th, they have time to apply, and after 15th close.
15th. Yeah, so it will be from the moment they will have the possibility to upload. It could be that it's on the 15th of January. The platform will open. They will have 15 days, and wait, the closing. No, the closing will be, so it will open on the 1st these are the details we still have to precise. It will open on the 1st, will be closed at the 15th, and then there will be the time that the liaison officer will have to approve, and then the judging will probably be on the 1st of February. So opening at the 1st of January.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then there will be a certain number of questions and answers that are that will be also on this cheat sheet that are always asked. So if someone starts with free N FIAP title, will he need to pay the distinction fee when applying for a FIAP the following year? Yes, of course. Is the counting of acceptances for EFIAP levels cumulative from AFIAP or NFIAP onwards, or does it restart at each level? So the counting is cumulative. Okay, there is a precision about what applicants must transfer the data from page C of their approved EFIAP application into their most recently approved EFIAP level application, merging the records. They should then add only the new acceptances and awards. A fresh count is required, and when applying for the DFIAP, the diamond distinctions. Okay, then comes the example 3. We studied it already. Are England, Scotland, and Wales and Northern Ireland considered one country or 4 separate ones? They are counted as 4 separate countries. This is due to the fact that these operational members, such as Malaysia Sabah and Malaysia Selangor, joined FIAP many years ago, at a time when no official national operational member existed in their respective countries. Since then, and in accordance with the old statutes, they have retained their status as independent operational members. Okay, so with the new rules, can an applicant submit for MFIAP 1 year after achieving EFIAP Platinum? This, for example, is something we corrected. So yes, the applicant can apply for MFIAP after obtaining EFIAP Platinum, no need to wait for a year. So this means if you apply, if you get the EFIAP Platinum in December and you apply for MFIAP in January the next year, this is okay. So there is no rule about having EFIAP for 1 year. There was a mistake in this text in the previous editions. Of course, in case of refusals, they may reapply after 1 year. There is no limit to the number of attempts. Okay, again, the cumulative example.
For those attempts, would they need to be different or a different theme for an MFIAP?
No.
There's no limit, but it
Well,
could be
let's
the
say
same.
You could have, so I'm also, sometimes we have good portfolios for MFIAP, and there are 3 or 4 pictures who just fit not in. I think the applicant, he can keep the portfolio and change the pictures. There is no need to give something completely different.
Thank you.
Does the open access to portfolio distinctions allow individuals to bypass their national federations by submitting applications directly? Of course not. It's written, if no action is taken by the liaison officer during these 10 days, the portfolio is automatically assigned to FIAP. In case of a refusal, a written justification must be provided. This will be reviewed by the FIAP board. In countries without an operational member, applicants can apply directly. So we do not need to have ILFIAP clubs in between, absolutely not. Of course, we hope that we can more and more make the promotion of FIAP in the countries, and I'm very confident that this new opportunity to get these new distinctions that are not related to salons, that are not related to competing with others, that they will have a big success, and I'm very confident that also the national federations will be very cooperative in this way. Question 8, regarding portfolios, will the diplomas and pins be sent to the organization that approved the application? And if the national federation does not approve it, can an ILFIAP club handle the delivery on behalf of the individual? So initially, we intended to send every distinction individually by the system to the to the applicant, but now as you know, the FIAP liaison officer, as the National Federation gets into it, of course, they will be sent to the FIAP liaison officer, who can then, in a little ceremony, award them to the applicant. And as I mentioned before, so in FIAPs, clubs are not included in any part of the portfolio distinction process. Okay, is a FIAP blueprint relevant when evaluating distinction applications? Yeah, the FIAP blueprint is awarded to the best author of a salon, not for a specific photo. It does not count towards distinctions. From the 1st January on, MFIAP applicants must have successfully applied for EFIAP Platinum distinction for at least 1 year. So this we also need to correct. So they do not need to have successfully applied for 1 year. So they just need to have the Platinum distinction. And I make a remind that we will make a second MFIAP session at the end of the year. So people who have not succeeded in having their MFIAP so far, they can try again at the end of the year. The fee. Now the portfolio for the portfolio submission. What is the supplementary fee charged when the applicant reapplies? So we charge 70 euro for the first distinction, 70 euro for the second, 80 euro for the third, 90 euro for the gold, and 120 euro from the master portfolio FIAP. The supplementary fee will each time be 30 euro. This is when one portfolio is not approved and you reapply at the next session. Okay, for distinction of category B, will there be a new form? Yes, there will be a new form in October 25. Jeff, I hope you will have it ready at that moment. For applications starting in 26, it can be downloaded from fiap.net and from each profile created on myfiap.net. So everything you were shown now will be sent to you. So please don't use screen captures. We will send it to you. You can use it. It will be a PowerPoint. It will be in a PowerPoint show. The cheat sheets will be in PDF form, and you can distribute it individually. It will also be accessible on the profiles of the photographers. Okay, so are there any more questions?
There are, yes, Roman. There's one here from Gareth. If an applicant has acceptances that already has the A FIAP, does he need to go back and do the N FIAP? Or can he just apply directly for the A FIAP? And I think the answer to that is he can
Yes, he
apply
can.
directly for A FIAP. Correct. Yeah. And Ahmed is wondering in relation to the portfolios, does the fact that we have 3 application dates, does this mean that each country can submit applications several times a year, or do they have to choose a particular date and they only can do it once a year at that date?
Okay, so they can choose a date when they start, and when they achieved a distinction, they need to wait for 1 year.
Yeah, but sorry, I think he means each country. So in other words,
No.
Oman, yeah.
Everything is open, so
Yeah, exactly.
So go ahead for the 1st of January. So make us sweat.
Yeah.
No, so that's why we make these online sessions, to bring this to the public. We will also send these cheat sheets also to the photographers afterwards. Of course, we want this to be a huge success. So every country does not need to choose a date, can apply. Each session they can apply for the distinction. Once a distinction has been achieved by an applicant, he needs to wait for 1 year to go for the next distinction.
Okay, at this stage, I think all the questions that have been typed into the chat, but there may be other questions.
Not to add pressure, but any idea or any plans for a deadline when the FIAP book will be updated?
The FIAP book.
With regard to distinctions and adding the portfolio?
Well, the regulations, I think they are already in the FIAP book.
Oh,
It's not
I
updated.
thought I just looked.
It's not yet updated because we're waiting for the 3 sessions to be completed in order to see if we have to implement some other things also.
Okay, yeah, I thought, yeah.
Okay, that's then the reason. Yeah.
Could I jump in here now? This
Yep.
is Howard Tate from England. I'm getting a lot of aggravation from my members. Under the old rules, this is just an example. It happens at all levels. But if you go under the old rules, if you go from gold to platinum, that's from 500 to 700 acceptances, which is a leap of 200. Under the new rules, to go from gold to platinum is 900 to 1200, which is 300 increase, which is fine. But if somebody already has gold under the old rules, they have to go from 500 acceptances to 1200 to get platinum. That's an increase of 700. What they're saying to me is that if they have an existing gold, to go from the existing gold to platinum, they should only have to submit an extra 300, which is the increase of 900 to 1200 in the new rules.
Yeah, I think Jeff is always available for questions of this kind. And I think people then also, they come with their records and we can analyze this. But, we did not foresee any transition period. So we made this rule between Platinum and D1 and say that if you have some awards that you didn't use 1 year before, you can use it. But of course, let's say there are more salons. The acceptance rates was also raised from 25 to 30%. So of course, the rules are a little bit more.
Yeah,
I would say.
Roman, the case is exactly for me. So now when I want to go from gold to platinum, used to I need 200 acceptance. Now with the new rules, I must have new 700 acceptance.
Yeah, I personally have no problem with it as the liaison officer. But the biggest complaint is not particularly the increase to 700, it's the cost for that 700.
Is the gap fully that big when you get to now add the acceptances from your AFIAP and EFIAP?
So
no, actually, no.
So you can
before we weren't able to add those, and now we are. Yeah. So there's 200 right there.
So you can use what you did before. So this is, but of course there are a little more. So I had some analysis also with people from Luxembourg, as they were participating very much in salons. So they had more than they needed to. So this was somehow, of course, people are very strict on the amount they need. Of course, there will be a little bit more to achieve. But we also wanted to do something because we had this situation before. I think in the PowerPoint, the first slides of the PowerPoint explained what we meant to do. I think Jeff can also say a few words about this. It should not get now, how to say, it should not get easier. It should not get now very, very difficult to get it. But of course, there will be some things that will not fit this moment. That's why we make these online sessions in advance, The rules are out. We make these sessions. It's August. There are a lot of salons. The acceptance rate was raised to 30%. I think, of course, there are always people who will just compare and they say, okay, but this is not right. But Jeff, you want to say a few words about it?
I cannot say much more because everything is already said.
Can I, to respond to that Howard's question there, because I've had that kind of question as well. I don't think they're counting the FIAP and FIAPs as well. And if they add another 300 to it, then or 250, then that will not be that large gap. Because I had the same situation with myself, and I was thinking, whoa, am I going to need 500? But no, because I would need 500 minus 250, then I will need more for my next level. But I not as many as people asking those questions suggested.
But the people that they received FIAP used to, it was 150. Recently changed to 250.
Yeah. But if you go to the 2025 FIAP numbers, that's 200. So it comes down from 700 to 500. And that is 200 more than if you're working in the 2026 rules. And they're not worried about achieving it. It's the cost in salon fees.
Yeah, exactly.
I personally don't care. I just administer it.
It is, as Romain said, it is also easier to get more acceptances, and there are more opportunities to get them as well. So it's not exactly sure. I do not, I'll need 150 more than I would have, but it's not exactly as in the terms of the older years. So yes, it'll be a little bit harder for me my gold level, but not as hard as it looks like if you don't look at the detail. If you look at the details of all changes, not just the numbers, you'll find that they're not as different, as big as they look in the first. I had the same impression myself. I said, "Oh, I'm going to need." And so many more. But when I looked at the whole situation, actually, yes, it is more, but not as much as. So I think looking at the detail is important to get a better picture.
I think all of us now, thank you, Alex. I think all of us as liaison officer, we will be confronted with these personal results and the personal considerations of people who are concerned, who now must achieve a little bit more acceptances, a little bit more awards. But please go through the first slides that we made, why we did this. We want to have this distinction. We want to have them a certain value. And that's why we need to make an update. So otherwise, we do not make any updates. We let the rules as they are before, and we just continue with more contests, with easier achievable distinctions. But is what we want, easier achievable distinctions.
But that devalues the distinction itself.
Absolutely.
And
so of course, if there are 100 acceptances more to do. So I think the MyFIAP platform is very transparent in what salons are asking for fees. So if somebody is going for the fees, he can check the salons that are less expensive, more expensive, if they have a catalog for the 40 euro, if they don't have a catalog. This is open to the participant. But at one moment, we must change the rules. This was now the moment. It was an appropriate moment because it was after COVID. All this should have changed during COVID. We took it back. We reconsidered it. We discussed about it. These rules were not just made in 2 or 3 months. We discussed about it. We presented it to the Congress in November. We discussed about it. We changed it again. And this is now the result. Of course, there will always be people who will not be happy. For me too. So I am at D2. So I must do more now for the D3. It's clear. So this is a fact. Yes.
And the lost acceptances between FIAP and bronze may be added. So they have more than 250. They can add. Normally, all that must be really strictly 250.
Yeah. Romain, your D3 will be a little bit more shiny than it would have been.
Has there been any consideration of breaking the PowerPoint up into sections, like just the section on portfolios, just the section on the new traditional or previous distinctions? I would really appreciate that. I'd like to be able to do webinars on each thing separately instead of making it too confusing and having a specific audience. Also, I'd like to link them on the website in those sections, and they'd be in different areas. Is that possible? I mean, I know I can break apart a webinar, but that's work, and I'd rather have somebody who knows where all the parts of, because there's different parts of portfolio throughout, the PowerPoint. Is that possible?
Yeah, well, if I give you the PowerPoint, you are free to change and to take
Yeah.
out the slides you need. So
I know.
absolutely, you are free to do it as long as you're not, changing the data that it's in it.
Right.
So absolutely.
But it is a lot of
problem.
work, and where everything on portfolio is in that, because, you're intimately familiar with each slide. I mean, I'd have to be going through and go, and take it apart, but it
Yeah,
would
yeah.
really be nice if somebody could.
Something specific, you just ask me, Joanne, you will get it. No problem.
Okay, I want one on just portfolios, please.
Yep.
And one on just the changes, please, of for standing distinctions. Okay. I'm really
Good to
grateful.
see everyone. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm grateful for this kind of a meeting, and I hope in the future we have more of these, maybe on different topics or whatever, but I think it's exceedingly helpful.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you.
And I'm going to admit, I don't really think I'm dumb bunny, but I would love to hear again exactly what those 5 images with so many acceptances and so many salons and so many countries are. I mean, I am still confused. I came in, I've already written an email for all the people in the country who have an FIAP to go into now, okay, you're going to get your E. Here are the changes. And I've got the changes so they would understand. And I've gotten to the part where I thought there were changes in the 5 images, and now I'm not so sure. So please.
Joanne, the way I think about it in my head is in relation to the Excel spreadsheet. And on page A, when you are applying, you have to list the acceptances that for the 5 submitted images. And you put down the image title, you put down the award that it had, and you put down the country in which it got the award. Jeff wants to see 5 different country names on that sheet.
Okay, that's not a problem. I've had no problem previously. My question is, I thought there were changes now. Am I understanding that there are no changes in the 5 images now?
Yes.
Because I thought there were some changes, because I never saw the word salon in the description. So I thought, I don't have to worry about 3 different salons in 3 different countries, a circuit being counted as 1 salon. I mean, I have it memorized. It's just, I just thought it was different now, but if it isn't.
We left away the salons.
Yes.
No, Jeff, please.
Oh, it's just 3 different countries,
3
3
different
acceptances
countries.
in 3 different countries for each image, and then at least 1 different country for each of the 5 images.
That must not be from different salons or not from different circuits. But that was the problem in the past. People didn't understand that a circuit is 1 salon.
Yeah, see, that's what in my email I was trying to promote. You don't have to worry about the salon or whether it's in a circuit. It's just different country. So it is a change, right? Okay,
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Of course, if there are more questions, you can always send an email to Jeff, and he's waiting for them. We will also include them and decide to include them into the frequently asked question list.
Okay, I think we have come to the end of this. So I don't know if Ricardo has anything else he wants to tell us. No, he doesn't. You're muted, Ricardo.
Yes. No, nothing. I'm very happy that once again we had the possibility to speak about our rules, and I hope that in the future we can do more, as Joan just said, to have some particular meeting like that, because we really need to speak all together. The only thing that unfortunately some liaison officer are completely disappeared. And so we really hope, example, for tomorrow to have someone in the this event dedicated to the Spanish language people. But unfortunately, until now, I don't think that we have many people. Yeah, that is one of the biggest problems. And the same in some other part of the world. So we really need to have this opportunity to meet all of you. Because if we work together, we can, okay, I am freezy, I don't know why. If we can work together, we can obtain some concrete result. Otherwise, it's impossible. So thank you, friends, for your participation. And I really hope to see many of you in 2 weeks' time in China for the ninth FIAP photo meeting. So have a good night to all of you.
Good night.
Thank you.